Kaduna State, honorable ministers, our elder statesman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked to do a recap of our 2 days here. Bearing in mind that lunch is waiting for us, I think I'll jump the first day and quickly do a recap of today so that we save time. So I'd like to suggest that we move to slide number 8, please. Because I did this in the morning, so there is no point repeating it. Or I know some people came a little later. My objective is to summarize what has been discussed today and end with my own personal vote of thanks before the official vote of thanks is done. The National Sovereign Investment Authority, in its own presentation contributions, have expressed interest in investing in agriculture, waste to energy, as well as infrastructure. That is very reassuring for us, for a state in which 80% of the people live off agriculture. And we're advised to improve our competitiveness by developing clusters of production and excellence. Indeed, at one time, Pujo had 42 subcontractors around the KADUNA area supplying all kinds of parts. But most of them have gone. It is our duty to try to revive them. On the collection of statistics, the federal government intends to support the states as well as train unemployed graduates. I think the plan is to have a teacher for 500,000 unemployed graduates and NC holders, support skills acquisitions for artisans and market women and so on, some of which we are already doing. The federal government will also support and defray part of the cost of the school feeding program. We are told 60%, but I hear the story is now changing. It's primary, it's 1 to 3, which is fine, maybe about 60%. So we're looking forward to that. The IFC's contribution was very helpful because they highlighted the availability of private sector support for building real sectors across the energy value chain, particularly renewable energy, as well as support for microcredit, microfinance institutions. The Kaduna State Government's formula for developing the solid mineral sector, which AOECO called the KADUNA formula, was commended. I believe strongly the way we can move these things forward is through collaboration. The states and the federal government are not competitors, we are collaborators. We are all President Buhari's boys in the states. And for me, there is no basis for any conflict. All we want in Kaduna State is jobs. We don't care how the jobs come from or whether we make any money from it, as long as our people have jobs. In providing electricity, the Kaduna State government was advised to consider regional requirements and other markets beyond the national border, such as the West African sub-region. The Kaduna State government was also advised to impose discipline in the civil service by implementing and complying with the civil service rules and regulations, improving capacity development through training and effective and transparent governance. The creative arts industry is a huge job creation avenue that needs to be harvested. Though this was not clearly stated in our state development plan summary that I presented, but we have a creative arts industry development group in the governor's office under the chief of staff, whose job is to ensure that within our term of office, Kaduna becomes a creative industry hub. We're doing everything from musicians to film studios to KADinvest is the new Nollywood. We are going to work on that to develop it here in Kaduna by God's grace. Sports is very important to us. I think my brother Emmanuel Babero has made the point adequately. is something that we are going to work with. We're also establishing a sports academy, by the way, in Kagako local government on the way to Abuja, where we'll train all manners of sportsmen, from football to hockey to soccer to basketball and so on and so forth. Football is our one unifier, and here in Kaduna we have seen how it has really contributed to the growth of the state and put Kaduna on the global map, and it's something we intend to pursue. There should be a connect between the small and micro enterprises with the large business in the state is trying to attract. This was the recommendation of Amina Salim, which we are going to pursue. There should be project nurturing for smaller businesses by the larger firms. But in addition, the Kaduna State government has several programs of mentoring, entrepreneurship development in association with Kaduna Business Group, as well as other training programs, as well as financial support for entrepreneurs. There is need for gender inclusive strategy to be put in place. I want to promise that we're working on that. There is also the need for organ that can help match job seekers to jobs. And I'm very happy that Joberman and other job startups are working or are thinking of doing something in Kaduna. I want to assure them that we will have the support in every way, material and human, of the Kaduna State government to make this happen. An IT hub is being worked on. We're very happy with that. And again, we're committed to this because we found that in the northern states, Kaduna had the largest concentration of ICT startups. Maybe because of Ahmad University, because many of them are based in Zaria and a few in Kaduna. And it is something we intend to invest in and develop. I'm pleased to hear of the progress in bringing world-class IT developers to Kaduna. And I want to continue to assure all these young men and women, brilliant young men and women, that I'm mentioning phrases that I've never heard of. When he said blockchain, I had to use Google to find out what it meant. But you are welcome to Kaduna, and you will have our 199% support. It's mentioned drones, solar energy, the development of the tourism industry. Yesterday we spoke a bit about tourism industry. Transport Hilton doing a 5-star hotel here, Urban Shelter doing another hotel, and there is a third group we are talking to that will also build hotels here, because our hotels in Kaduna surprisingly are always full. So we know there is demand here, and we are encouraging the development of tourism industry. Then solid minerals. We are advised to maintain focus on solid minerals as an effective way of revenue generation, particularly dimension stones and all our other minerals. But as I was explaining during the break to the team from the World Bank, for us in Kaduna State, solid minerals exploitation is really not about even the revenues. It's about the jobs. As long as we have jobs in Kaduna, we don't care about the revenues. The revenues are important, yes, but they are of secondary importance to us than the jobs, because we need these jobs in Kaduna. We need to organize our people and get them to be productive. We advise to focus on addressing the shortfall in infrastructure, particularly electricity, and the low-hanging fruits of completion of Uganda and Gorada power plants. And I want to assure you that we are working on this. We are trying to get the federal government to hand over these assets to us to complete. Because these assets are amongst many that the federal government has to work on. But for us, these two electricity assets are life and death issue for the survival of the state. So we're in discussions with the Federal Ministry of Power to allow us to complete this project. We need about 7 to 8 billion naira to complete them. We have borrowed the money from the central bank. We are good to go so that we get them going. So that's about a summary of today's session.